So we are now back here at the mob sorter, and yeah, we get occasionally some explosions, but haven't made use out of them yet. Obvious choices, of course, are cobblestone generators or something like that. But yeah, I have enough cobblestone. So we're thinking about some kind of a wood farm where we can make use out of some of the explosions happening here. The explosions are not so frequent, so any of the farms where a lot of wood produces in a very short point of time may not be very approachable here, or very the best farm out there, because obviously this destruction mechanism isn't very fast. So we would have to somehow have like a slower production of wood, so that it keeps up with the amount of destruction happening here, or we would have to have some kind of battery where we very quickly create a lot of wood with some kind of wood tree farm, and then slowly bring it into this area for the explosions to happen for farming it. So I'm working here a little bit on proof of concept, some prototyping. So this is the explosion chamber, and I'm thinking of yeah, creating let's say slow speed tree farm where I just plant some saplings around, and even don't use bone meal, because like I say, the amount of explosions is not so high. I would need like some kind of other explosion mechanism to keep up with. So yeah, I mean, like waiting for it to grow even, so don't have to spend time making bone meal or AFKing a lot. So I just maybe plant a few saplings. After time they grow, and this growth is here detected. So if this is a full block, this turns off, and then the dirt block is retracted here. Very simple prototype at the moment. And also these clocks start pushing the sand here in this direction, and then pushing the whole column up, so the wood up, and then also pushing the wood this way around. Let's see if we can make a test here. Yeah, so very simple so far. And you see the wood comes this way, and then also the sand starts falling down again. Okay, it has still a problem of stopping here, and but it's this way. This sand could be recycled this way at least, and also we would need at the end some kind of mechanism here to bring back the sand somehow. Not sure how to do it yet, but this could be a principle where we bring wood into this explosion area. Yeah, been playing around with that tree farm a little bit, and I came to the conclusion that yeah, one tree, even if we would replicate this system multiple times, it's probably not enough. So I'm working right now on a different design. The idea is that we plant here in a row a lot of trees, so, and then just wait until they grow, and so we will have wood all over this place here. And then we have a pushing system with sand, and I can show you what I've done. So sand is down here, and it will be elevated up here behind and come back down here, up here. So I will just do it manually at the moment. Let's just do 5. So we will have this sand coming down, and then we can press it. And then all the wood here will also be pushed, everything will be pushed towards this direction, and we have one column of wood here, which we then, like we had in this small farm here, will convert into a line and bring into this area where we meet skeleton and creeper for the explosion. And yeah, so this will continue, and I can also show you, it's not a final yet, it's still playing around a lot. So then another row is pushed, and once all the wood is gone, we basically, well, it's also not very nice looking at the moment here, but we have these sticky pistons here with the dirt, and then we will flick it open, and all the sand, well, this one isn't, there's too much sand in this column at the moment, but the sand then will disappear. And we close it again, and then it's ready for the next round. So the idea then would be, yeah, to be able to plant. This is one module, could also be maybe more in the future, to plant like 10 to 12 saplings and just walk away, and then the system slowly pushes the wood into the explosion area, and then when you come back you can just plant a set of saplings again. So I will also want to show you what I did here down here. It's also not final yet, but yes, so the sand falls down, and then it just getting pushed here, one, up to this final column here, and then down here, and here is then, I can show you a simple mechanism which will activate this, which will pull the sand block here and then also push it up. So whenever there's a sand block coming in here, it's getting pushed up. So in, this side here basically is there's a temporary clock here as well. It's just one redstone line going down, and yeah, this is basically the wall of sand which was going to fall down here. It's slowly pushing it down here, and then from here it goes up again to yeah, be able to push wood again. So yeah, next up now, I need to also, as a proof of concept, work on getting here hope I have enough space here to get the pusher, and condensing this tree or this wood which will be here, and to move it over here. So this will be one next step, and then of course is all the timings and a lot of cleanup to do, and also some more testing. Also I have to check what we can do with the saplings. I will want to get the saplings back, as many as possible. Of course, with such a condensed oak placement, there's not so many leaves. There are not so many leaves per sapling. So yeah, it's not great to get saplings back, but we will try to get them somehow. I don't know yet how, but maybe some kind of hiding this and some kind of water stream here, that when the leaves collapse and saplings will fall down, that the saplings are washed down here or collected somehow. So this is also what we still have to do. And then also, depending on the compactness here, this side could actually be completely mirrored into this side. We of course could or do one more of these sections down here if we want to see that, yeah, to increase a bit the capacity of the farm. So working on something else right now. Yeah, I also modified the explosion chamber a little bit, so the creepers come down here, the skeletons come down here. If it's not locked at the moment, because yeah, I don't want them to fall into my head here. and then we still have the golem here. So after the creeper is shoot away, so the pressure plate is released, and also the skeleton falls down and falls into a simple water stream here, like so, and falls onto this cobblestone. And the creeper, I'm not sure where I can see that here. Where's the hole? Here's the hole. The creeper falls down here. So once the skeleton comes here, and then they explode. Yeah, so I was thinking of putting maybe obsidian here as a permanent solution, but then yeah, sometimes wood which is destroyed will land onto the obsidian, which is a bit annoying then. So one option would have been to do some kind of flushing system then. What I've been going for now was though like a smooth stone here, and if I destroy the smooth stone, you will see that it regenerates. And what I did here is, I can show you also quickly, very simple principle. Yeah, so lava here, water here, and a simple clock that tries to push this stone. And now at the moment we have the 12 block limit, but if there's blocks missing here, then more clean stone is generated and pushed this way. So creeper and skeleton land here, and hopefully as well then some of the clean stone is with the explosion is destroyed as well, so that when wood comes from here, wood is falling down, and then clean stone is regenerated. Initially I had this one lower. So wood will be here. You can see the distance, so it's 3 blocks in between, and then there's the wood going to be. Initially I had it one lower, but then the explosions I tried didn't reach the wood. So yeah, this is now seems to work fine at the moment, so I had to lower this walkway. Yeah, this is it. Mechanism here. So I had to lower this is also a little bit. So here's the wood going this way, and of course at some point of time we reach the maximum of 12 blocks, then this cannot be pushed further. But this clock here kept on running, so that means that this pylon was pushed down and down and down, so that I eventually got normally I would expect only sand to go down here and wood in this direction, and sand, once all the wood is gone, the sand will fall here. But with the push down also I got wood here, and this messes up this whole cycle here. The others are fine because it's sand only, but this is sand and wood in this cycle here. Then yeah, that was a problem so far, and I have not found a solution, but I have experimented a bit. What could be a solution? So here we have an observer and a piston, and if you monitor this line here, and if I power this, you see it flickering because the piston changes state and the observer notices that. But if you have like reach the maximum amount of the piston can push, or for example if you put a non-pushable block in front of it, yeah, so if I click it now, you see that the observer didn't detect anything because the piston didn't change. So I'm thinking about using this principle to detect if all the wood is pushed already, so, and then the observer can this way detect it if the piston can't move anymore, and maybe then I can stop the clock from pushing the wood too far down. Just have to see, because the space is a bit constrained here, how I can implement this, but yeah, I will give it a shot. As you can see now here, the clock is running. And here we have the piston that is trying to push the wood, which is not possible at the moment because of the 12 block limit. If you would be able to push, then this observer here would notice that and pull back this observer here, and when it retracts again, the piston, then it sends a second signal here pushing up this observer, and this gives an offer signal. So when we successfully push with the piston, we get a signal here, this way. This signal is then split, one going up into the send column, which is then the send is pushed left and down for the next wood to be pushed in place. And also the signal is going down here with this piston and this glass. This glass is going down here to this space, pushing this redstone block here and giving off a redstone signal to this area here, so that more sand is pushed up. So for each successful wood push, we also trigger this piston slope, and one more sand is going up. So for each wood, one sand is going up as well. And if enough sand is up here, then this signal will be when there's a sand block here, when sand is coming down, and if there's enough sand here, then this starts triggering off these pistons, and the whole new row of sand is pushed into this direction. So this is working quite fine. Well, let's do it like this. So this works quite fine. So for each piece of wood, one sand is coming here, and if this reaches this amount of sand, then the whole row is pushed. And this is took a bit of time, but it's working now quite nicely. So actually what happens is that wood is pushed down, then sand is pushed up here, and the sand column is falling, which will be recognized down here. And then the whole, which was also very important here, so we get, when we get the first sand block here, this is detected, and we send immediately a signal up here, locking this sand tape here, because if sand is falling and more sand is pushed in, sometimes sand blocks can get destroyed and end up to be falling sand entities. So yeah, that was very important. So immediately, as soon as there's sand here, we lock any activities up here, but we also lock the clock. Don't have to show this necessarily. And as the last wood was pushed, sand is falling down and sand is getting up here again, and this is just around the right amount of time for the next column to be pushed in this way. Yeah, and then there's one final trick or thing I had to do is, now when this part is stopped, I said so there are no activities, this is locked, and also the clock is stopping when there are no more wood pieces in here. So the last piece of question was, when do you start this clock again? And one option would be like pushing here and then afterwards taking a signal and start the clock again, taking it all the way around. This would be then have been an option. I decided for something else here. So I maybe you know this already. So if you have, it's a relatively new mechanic, So if I place now wood here, the observer will detect that, and the reason is that for a while now that these leaves know the distance from the nearest wood block, and if I change this gets an update because there's now a wood block next to it, and also this gets an update because there's a new wood block, and you see this triggered a signal. And I use this mechanic here. So when a new column is pushed over, then also a new piece of wood is behind this leaf here, and this is detected with this observer, and the signal is just going down here, down here, down here, down here, down here, and this is then activating at the moment the clock is running. But if the clock is off, then this signal is off, and if a new column of wood is arriving, this is detected and the clock is activated again, and the whole system starts again. This seems to work quite fine. I have to do a few more things to the startup procedure and to the end procedure, I think, when all the columns are gone. And also still what is missing, of course, is what to do with the leaves, or let's say the oak saplings, which will fall onto the ground here. But so far I kept this quite clean. I think it's maybe possible to move this redstone line as well here to, I don't know, make some kind of water stream or something. I'll have to think. Yeah, I tried now to put down a rail here. I tested it, so if I plant a tree here, the tree will grow despite being a track here. I hope just that the leaves don't destroy any of the road here. I was going against any tries to do a water stream collection here, because it's such a wide area, so yeah, I didn't come up with a nice idea to flush up everything here nicely on this side, because we still have redstone. I lowered this here the redstone for this piston row, lowered it one so that there's room for some rails, and the torches also power not just the pistons but also the rails here. And the idea then here is to have some kind of drop-off point here, possibly at least. I don't think I can get it on this side, and maybe then just dropping it into some kind of water stream which leads to this water stream here. This side though, because so this side we collect here with powered rails, but also of course the leaves could be on this side or are on this side, and also saplings. So I was wondering, or considering at least use water streams here on this side that flush into the main pool here. Yeah, I'll try that out. So here we have now a start button and a reset button, and yeah, I'm a bit surprised. It was quite compact at the beginning, the redstone, but suddenly now it exploded a little bit. But I'll just also quickly show you what I've done here. So yeah, reset button, then the power stays on here and keeps these pistons extended here, because otherwise when this tree grows there will be leaves here and the sand will fall on top of the leaves, which would be a problem. So in the initial stage, when growing is happening, the pistons are extended. Second thing is, yes, it gives a pulse here, pulse extension, and then it retracts. When we reset it, it retracts the dirt so that the sand falls down, but also it gives a pulse here, a little bit delayed pulse here, to do a first push here, because the one sand block will be here, and for as long as the sand here, we cannot extend these dirt blocks again here, otherwise the sand would fall down. So we have to give one pulse here so that this is pushed down a bit, and then the dirt, the pistons extend again, the dirt is back there, and then we are able to plant saplings again. So this is basically the reset mechanism. Then also, if this is powered off, also this is retracted here, which is our detection of wood. So while stuff is growing, we don't want this observer to detect that and give pulses here and activate the clock, which would mess it up. So we simply retract this here, and the pulses here will go into nothing for as long as the system is not started. That's pretty much it. Also, when we have the start button here and activates, we activate this rail so that the collection starts. Now I'm just waiting for the last trees to grow, and then I could start and activate the system. Also, one thing I wanted to point out is what I tried earlier is I used observer and leaves to detect if there's wood in front of it. This worked because if you manually place leaves, they will not despawn. It's fine, and it works, the system. However, if a tree grows here, it seems that the manually placed leaves will be replaced with leaves from the tree, and then later on, the next cycle, when there's no wood here, these leaves despawn, and then there's nothing here. So this is not very reliable. If you have in this section, of course, if there are blocks despawning that you rely on, so I did double observer here right now. Seems to work fine as well. Yeah, like I said, it exploded here a little bit, the redstone complexity. I still have shown you the single compartments. If you have, want to build something like this as well. But for me now, it's I will test the system throughoutly. So I will run it with these manual buttons at the moment. So there will be no automated start at the moment. Just also want to fine tune if all the delays are fine, if all the ticks are fine, that nothing is messing up, that no sand is getting destroyed. So I will just keep on testing the system right now and leave it as is now. So yeah, I have to, it's a bit more manual then, but it's fine, and we will extend this at a later stage. If it's perfectly running smooth, then we can either build like some kind of a time delay when we know that all trees are grown, then that the system automatically starts, or alternatively we make some kind of tree growth detection system here, and then start the system automatically. But yeah, we leave it for now as manual. And I think this is also enough of this big redstone project for this episode.